All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call to order the Blair County Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, June 11th at 1 p.m. I would ask that you please join me in a moment of silent reflection. I would ask that you please join me and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call.
There is no one joining us remotely today.
Executive session announcement.
There have been no executive sessions since our last board meeting on 6/4/2024.
Make a motion to approve the Board of Commissioners meeting minutes for 5/30/24 and 6/4/24.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public comment. Kay, you look around like someone else is going to ask.
I want to make sure I don't hop up here and take somebody else's place. But today I have official public comment rather than just a question or two. And that is that I wanted to tell the commissioners that I wanted to advise you of the disappointment of the newspaper, the Altoona Mirror's leadership, the disappointment they expressed after you rejected the request for a proclamation in recognition of the newspaper's 150th anniversary on Thursday, June 13th. So I reviewed the county's 2022 proclamation policy, and there's a related reference to a ceremonial letter that you could have rendered. And in reviewing your policies, I didn't see anything that would have prevented the commissioners from issuing either the proclamation or the letter. So when our anniversary edition is published on Thursday for thousands of readers in print and online, you'll see a proclamation by the city of Altoona and none by the county, which I think represents a missed opportunity on your part to recognize the Mirror's milestone at no cost to the county or its taxpayers. And as of today, I do see that you have items on the agenda for promoting Fort Roberto, which as of Monday dropped its advertisement in our 150th anniversary section, which was also attributed to the commissioners. In both of these cases, it seems to me that the commissioners are making decisions outside of a public meeting. So maybe it's time to take another look at your policies and your practices, because based on what you've done, you've missed the chance to be recognized in an event that has taken 150 years to reach.
Thank you. Any other comment? Okay. Commissioners' comment?
I don't have anything today. Thank you.
If you would please run us through the consent agenda.
Sure. Today's consent agenda is resolution number 276. It's the payment of 3 warrant lists as outlined in your agenda in item A. It's the ratification of 8 warrant lists as outlined in item B. It's a budget transfer in item C, terminations, resignations, employments, and status changes in items D, E, F, and G respectively.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Staff reports and special business. The coroner, Ray Benton.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
As you're aware, the Coroner's Office advertised for invitations to bid on 2 contracted services for my office. One service was for the removal and transport of the decedents from the place of death to a designated storage facility and to autopsies at the coroner's request. The second service was for the storage of the decedents, since we don't have our own current storage facility. The invitation to bid was ran 3 times in the Altoona Mirror, with the bid opening of May 17th. We received bid returns from two different contractors, one being Forest Livery and Clear Creek Company, to provide both these services. The submitted bids were then forwarded for review to the county solicitor to see compliance with the bid specs. As you see here today, there are various items listed for approval. These items were individually listed in the bidding process. If we could, I would like to cluster the two different, or the multiple line items to the two different services that we originally bid out. One being the removal and transport, the other end being storage of the decedents. If you look down over the list, the first one is the removal of the transport of decedents located within Blair County to the designated storage facility. Forest Livery bid $290 per decedent, Clear Creek bid $365. If you would hold on for a minute, we'll continue down through the rest of the items that were listed in that bid as well. Removal and transport of a decedent from the designated storage facility within Blair County to and from the Mount Nittany Medical Center where we have autopsies performed. Forest Livery bid $350 per decedent, and Clear Creek bid $240. Also, in part of this bid was the removal and transport of the decedent from a designated storage facility within Blair County to and from the Forensic DX, which is in Wimber. That's the second facility that we use for autopsies. Forest Livery bid $350 per decedent. Clear Creek bid $240 per decedent. The next one's removal and transport of the decedent within Blair County at a designated area determined by the coroner. Forest Livery chose not to bid on that. Clear Creek bid $225 per decedent. What that would be is if I didn't need a full autopsy, but I needed someone transported for x-rays or something to that effect, and I could get it done locally, they would provide that transportation service. Also in the removal and transport is the removal and transport of advanced decomposition decedents within Blair County to the designated storage facility within Blair County. Forest Livery $600 per decedent, Clear Creek $365. So if we could stop at that particular point, the rest of those three remaining items would be part of the storage facility. Looking back over those each individual items, it appears that Clear Creek Company has underbid Forest Livery in all except for the first one. The first one being the removal and transports of the decedents located within Blair County to a designated storage facility. My concern with awarding just that line item to Forest would be the confusion that would be brought forth by my staff as to which time to call which contractor. My suggestion would be to award the contract to Clear Creek, since they were the underbidding on each line item except for the very first line item, and to eliminate any type of confusion.
I remember I did see some correspondence with the law firm that we currently have as solicitor, so
It says that, wait a second here. I was just looking for it, I had it. Yeah, that's it. There you go.
If you would like to stop there, that's fine. I can go into the second part if you would like the storage part to be explained to as well.
So I'll comment on that. We do have the two separate contracts. The first one is for storage and removal, and then the second one, or I'm sorry, the first one is for transportation, and the second one is for storage. So if you do want to pause there and take them separately, that's fine.
One of the in looking at the bids themselves, neither one really comports with your advertisement. So the issue is, do we ask to re-advertise to make sure that it lines up exactly with what you were requesting, which if you were requesting it, it's obviously an important issue. You know, there's a reason that you asked for what you asked for. Or if you want to, you know, if you feel that those are minor defects, then, and that you have enough information that it's workable for you, you know, then you want to tell us your
thinking behind that.
Sure. After it had been sent to the solicitor, you folks also received the correspondence. I believe both contractors provided almost everything that was necessary in the bid. There was a couple of pictures that we required 6 pictures. One contractor submitted 5. I don't think any of the flaws that were presented as not in the bid package or anything that would be of detriment to either service.
Material.
So one of the things that, as I'm reading in here, they said both responses contained bid defects. And the other one was moving the decedents more than 300 pounds. There's no list of equipment or how they're going to do that. So I think, the bottom line, Ray, is that, the solicitors looking at this and looking at saying, okay, and I don't know the answer to this, are they going to have to buy equipment? Do they have equipment? Is it going to be additional cost to the county, other above and beyond this? I guess that is his or their recommendation. At the end of the day, it's yours. At the end of the day, although we'll incur costs, it's really up to you and if you're comfortable or not comfortable. He's just pointing out things that he's saying that there's things in here that contain that potentially is going to cost the county additional money if it's not spelled out. So
working with both contractors, one Forrest is our current contractor. I know he has the equipment to do that. And talking to Clear Creek Company, they also have the equipment. It just did not get presented with the bid package when they returned it.
Okay. So you're saying to us, as we sit here today, you're comfortable with the equipment and that they're capable, both are capable of doing what you need them to do.
Correct.
Okay.
So what we would probably request is that the contract be very clear that the transporting of people in excess of 300 pounds was contemplated and will not create an extra cost to the county.
Commissioner, can I stop you? Can I see you?
Me?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Sorry about our little interruption. I would sing and dance, but you don't want to hear that or see that.
Give it a shot.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
No, I guess to reiterate, yeah, I feel comfortable with the contractors having the equipment to facilitate what is needed. I've seen the equipment in both contractors and feel that they could provide the service. In reference to more expense to the county, I'm not sure how, if they did not provide the equipment, it would be more expensive to us because they were aware that the equipment was needed. But I assure you that they both have the equipment. The concern I have is because if we went line item by line item, my deputies would need a decision tree as to which contractor to call. If it was this one, then they would call this one. But I think Clear Creek has presented most of the award-winning bids, and therefore I would recommend that the contract be awarded to them.
I think I'll add to the way the bids were constructed. You went off of 2023 actual numbers.
Correct.
So when you add up, when you multiply out and when you add up, even though Clear Creek is higher in one spot, overall they were just higher by less than $2,000 in the overall picture. So while it looks like a lot in one item, it averages out and balances out because of the lower prices in the other items. So if you're looking overall as well, there's not a huge difference between the two.
Based on the testimony from you and the questions that were answered, I don't have a problem making a motion to approve this contract to go to Clear Creek Company based on the bids.
So is that for both or just the one?
Just
Because you
removal.
didn't get the chance to talk about the second one.
Correct. This would be removal and transport. I'd ask
it's
that
all
you
one
separate the two. It is two separate contracts.
It's not, it's a little deceiving on the agenda, but it is two separate contracts. So we would be dealing with
So we
removal
need
and
two
transport in one motion and then storage in the second. So I am comfortable with that.
And then I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you. The second part of or the second contract, I should say, is the storage of the decedents. There was some additional items that were included in the storage of the decedents. The first one being the daily storage, Forest Library at $50 per decedent, Clear Creek Company at $65 per decedent. The second one is the daily storage of an advanced decomposition. This would be $60 was bid at Forest per decedent per day, and this would be $70 per decedent for Clear Creek. And the third item that was put in that bid package was to provide BioSeal, which is a sealing of the decedent for advanced decomp. Forest Library quoted a price of $400, and Clear Creek Company $280 per decedent.
Do we usually, the BioSeal, is that something that has to be done with every
It is not done with every case. It's done at the discretion of the coroner through the contractor. A lot of times, depending on the condition of the decedent, if they're in advanced decomp, I will grant approval for that to be done pretty much without being gross, seals everything up so that the contents doesn't come outside of the sealed bag.
So you approved that?
Correct. Prior to the process being done, I'm asked if they could do it. So based upon the presentation of the contracts, there are a couple that are higher in this bid as well by Clear Creek. However, I'm very much in favor of awarding this contract to Clear Creek. I have seen their facility. It's very clean. It's very accommodating for us to bring families to help with identification purposes and to identify bodies. Forest has been providing this service for a period of time. Other than the word of deplorable, don't know what other word to use for the condition of that storage facility.
Yeah, I believe that in this circumstance, when you make the comparison, that we do have to look at not just price, but what is the best. And I am happy to see that there is an alternative to what we've been doing, which is not the best situation.
A couple questions. I'm familiar with the ladder. I haven't seen pictures of Clear Creeks. Was that in the?
I don't have pictures. It wasn't required in the bidding process, but I've physically visited that position.
So the other thing I would question is, or ask, is that I know that currently you are seeking to find another place of operation. And I know that in discussing with you that you had a building that you were considering looking at, and then there was also the possibility of storage in that facility. So if we approve the contract as it is now, would that then change? Because you would then, or the county through your office would have a facility to conduct storage? We wouldn't have to pay for that?
Well, there's quite a few steps till we get to that point. One being finding a location, approving a location, purchasing the equipment to do that.
We're talking about a corner. I don't want Kay to get confused about a prison. But
Yes,
okay.
I'm not part of the prison.
Okay.
So this would provide ample opportunity to get us all the stuff that we need in line. In realistic timeline, probably 1.5 to 2 years until that would be a feasible option for us to get up and running.
Okay.
Well, and the contract itself provides for a 60-day notice to terminate. So we would know that was coming up, right? We would know that was coming up, and we could do that. And of course, if we have our own facility and you just stop taking people to there, that kind of, we're not going to pay for it if we're not actually delivering people there. So I don't see any problem with that part of it.
Okay. Thank you for that. Based on our discussion, I would make a motion to approve the contract for daily storage for advanced decompensated, and provide BioSeal with Clear Creek.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I guess the next item is me as well.
Keep it on. If you want to
Okay.
hang on with us, you can
Okay.
stick with us, yeah.
One more time. So the Blair County Coroner's Office is requesting approval of an agreement for purchase under bidding threshold between the County of Blair on behalf of the coroner and the Central Pennsylvania Cremation Society for the purpose and services of providing under Exhibit A in the total amount of $500. So what this is, unfortunately, we're seeing a more and more increase in long-term care facilities not having adequate funds or setting aside adequate funds for the final arrangements of their residents. In this particular case, there was an arrangement made by the family of the decedent to send them to the Central Pennsylvania Cremation Society for the cremation. After they came and picked up the individual, took him down to Harrisburg, the money never came through. So we as a county are responsible for all the decedents that die in our county. If they're indigent, then we have to provide the service. So in lieu of bringing the decedent back to Blair County to use our contracted funeral home that does the cremations for the county, they agreed to perform that service at $500 and follow through with all the necessary paperwork that needs to be done as well.
And I would imagine that this price is significantly less than transporting the decedent back here and having the cremation prepared here.
Absolutely.
Thank you for working this out.
Sure. And Nicole helped with this, so give her credit.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the bidding for the Coroner Central Pennsylvania Cremation Society in Exhibit A. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Ray. CYF, Mindy.
Hi.
Hello.
Aye.
All right. Today we're requesting approval of fiscal year 23-24 purchase of service agreement and HIPAA business associate agreement between the County of Blair, Blair County Children, Youth, and Families, and Lifespan Family Services of PA.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve. Can I have a second?
Second.
Anyone have any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We're also requesting approval of fiscal year 24-25 purchase of service agreement and HIPAA business associate agreement between the County of Blair, Blair County Children, Youth, and Families, and Kids First.
We'll make a motion to approve. Have a second.
Second.
Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye.
We're also requesting approval of fiscal year 24-25 purchase of service agreement and HIPAA business associate agreement between the County of Blair, Blair County Children, Youth, and Families, and the Children's Aid Society of Clearfield County.
I'll make a motion to approve the HIPAA Agreement Business Association. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye.
And last, we're requesting approval of the fiscal year 24-25 contract between the County of Blair on behalf of Blair County Children, Youth, and Families and Impact Counseling Services, LLC.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract between Blair and Impact Counseling Services. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you. Court Administration, Scott. Or Judge. We're still waiting.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So the court is requesting approval of a contract or agreement with Betway Systems to replace the sound system in courtroom number 3. The total amount is $10,175.87. Happy to answer any questions about that, but we think that the system is pretty old, and most people can't remember really when that was put in. So it's has significant age. It's getting to the point where we're concerned that it may not work any longer. Obviously, if that happens, we'll have to shut that courtroom down, which would not be helpful right now with our current docket. And we've had Betwe in there to take a look at the system, and they're basically telling us that that it needs replaced, and it would be cumbersome and too more expensive to continue to fix it based on its age. So we've submitted this request. We did have some back and forth about the funds. We are asking that the county consider the ARPA funds for payment of this amount. There isn't currently any line item budgeting the system for replacement.
And Scott, are we still waiting on a solicitor review of the contract, or was that able to come through?
I've not received that.
So I had a follow-up. I had received an email, and I did a follow-up with a solicitor, and they didn't get back to us. So we're changing our processes. We haven't had a department head meeting to inform everybody of this, but everyone right now is just submitting contracts, and we as commissioners don't even know what's being submitted for review. So we're working with our solicitor to try to come up with a system that makes sense, and that we review it before it goes to the solicitor, because if we don't agree with it, then it won't go to them. So I did reach out to the firm. I did not hear back, so I don't have a problem making a motion to approve pending review from the solicitor. May I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any comments or questions? And I'll follow up with that. All in favor? Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Public safety, Chris.
Hello.
Hi, Chris.
My first item, I'm requesting approval of the contract agreement between the County of Blair on behalf of the Department of Emergency Services and Frontier Precision for the annual support and maintenance of the Field Seeker software, ULV adult assiding, office user license, and mobile user license for our mosquito-borne disease control program for the period of April 1st of 2024 through December 31st, 2024, in a total amount of $700. This is what we use if we have to have a spray event. It maps and monitors the pesticides that are being used for that spray event to cut down on mosquito habitats.
Yeah. I'll make a
We do
motion.
this every year.
Yep, I was going to
We
say.
do it every year. It's
Yeah.
covered completely by the grant.
Right.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract between Blair and Frontier Precision and the maintenance of Field Seeker software. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Oh,
Aye.
comment or question? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I'm also requesting approval of a service agreement between the County of Blair on behalf of the Department of Emergency Services and PennTurf Incorporated to provide a trailer for tire collection and disposal of the tires collected by municipalities throughout Blair County during a 3-month period in 2024 and a total amount of $2,000. This is also to reduce mosquito habitats and is completely covered by the grant.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the service agreement between Blair, Department of Emergency Services, and PennTurf for tire collection. May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
This is great. How do we get these tires? How do people know to get the tires to their municipalities?
Well, the municipalities already have tires that they've collected in various places. The county also has tires that they've picked up along the road and things like that. So Megan, our mosquito tech, will be sending out a letter to the municipality offices themselves, and they will be scheduling on a first-come, first-served basis to make an appointment to bring tires over.
Okay. So people will need to contact their municipality and make an appointment.
The municipalities will be making appointments.
Okay, I'm sorry.
If people have tires, that's different. This is what the municipalities have
Okay.
collected and have just around. The county highway yard also has tires that they've
So
found
these are-
places.
These are the ones that, yeah, you'll see them on the side
Or
of the
overlooked
road.
and missed,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Steve, so, I mean, afterwards, we'll sign contracts and give them to you.
Okay.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Blair Planning Commission, Sherry.
Good afternoon. I'm presenting the letter of support request to the commissioners for Duncansville Borough's DCNR mini grant submission that I wrote to, it's a pass-through through Southern Allegheny Planning and Development Commission. It is a small grant to help them with putting a fence up around their new pickleball basketball court. They just paved that surface area, so right now that court is wide open, so we want to secure that with fencing. And then also a half shell that will go over the stage area for shelter and also entertainment in the north side of the park. So right now that's a wide open stage. You know, the entertainers, the attendees are all in the open elements of our wonderful Pennsylvania weather. So they're trying to put a pavilion over that area to keep that more secure and also have people out of the elements and the entertainers. So the total grant project is $26,765. The Duncansville Borough has already committed half of that as the 50-50 share. It was already part of their 2024 Park and Rec line item. So they have the local share to secure that. And we will be submitting that as soon as I get the letter, hopefully, of support from you guys.
So I keep putting my chair down like a little kid. I'll make a motion to approve the letter of support for the Duncansville Borough DCNR mini grant submission. May I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any comments or questions?
It's always good to see these that, you know, when there's support from, when we're supporting somebody that is trying to do something good for the communities. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Social services. There, I was looking for it, couldn't see you. How you doing, Trina?
Good morning, or good afternoon.
Good day.
We're requesting approval to submit, Ennis Township is requesting a authorization to submit a budget revision to DCED under their fiscal year 2020 CDBG program. This was just leftover money for 2 completed projects in the amount of $18,761.40. And we'll put that into their existing housing rehab program in Ennis Township.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve Blair County Social Services on behalf of Antis Township for budget revision. May I have a second?
Second?
Comments or questions? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Our second request is requesting approval to submit a 3-year project activity completion extension to the Commonwealth DCED to extend the completion date from May 25th, 2024 to April 1st, 2025 for fiscal year 2020 CDBG contract. This, again, we're moving that $18,000. We're giving ourselves some additional time to expend those funds into the contract. Contract doesn't expire until May 25th of 2025, so I'll give us 60 days to close out.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the 3-year project activity extension from dates May 2024 to April 1st, 2025. May I have a second?
Second?
Comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you. Glenn?
Good day.
Good day.
I am here to request approval of a service agreement between the County of Blair on behalf of Fort Roberdeau and Seven Mountains Media for a summer event radio and online marketing campaign for the period of July 1st, 2024 through August 31st, 2024, in the total amount of $1,200. It's $600 a month. And this is with our transition from the school tours to summer tourism and summer events.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion that we approve this contract.
I'll second the motion. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye.
Thank you. And then the second one is requesting approval of a service agreement between the County of Blair on behalf of Fort Roberdeau and Schlesinger Communications for radio advertisement campaign for the period of June 27th through July 3rd, 2024, in the total amount of $525. And that targets specifically the Star Spangled Fourth for the northern tier for the folks above Lock Haven and that area.
May I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second the motion. Any comments or questions?
Just that this is great. We want people to attend the Star Spangled Fourth, and it's amazing how many people appear for this. Yeah, it's great. Lots of them like to buy things from the gift shop. And it's a great event.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Public Works, Ken. Ken?
Requesting your approval for a lift rental for the repair and upgrade to the lighting on the top level of the parking garage. The lift will be rented for a period of 2 days at $253 per day for a total cost of $506 to the county.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract between the County of Blair and Fiore True Value for the lift rental for a 2-day period. May I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you. It says Commissioners Thomas Gill. All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
So we're here to request approval for the 2024 to 2025 P Corp renewal quote for the insurance for the county. Highlighted on that sheet, it shows the payment due dates and the sums there, 40% down with 30% following in 2 payments. Just to go over the changes from last year to this year, the overall renewal premium of $520,576 represents a 14% increase. The county does have a 12% increase in total insured values, property values, and an 8% increase in payroll. The deductibles changed this year from a minimum of $1,000 to $1,500 this year, and then the deductible for privacy and security coverage has increased from $2,500 to $5,000. There are some coverage limit changes. The equipment breakdown, which includes the property damage, business income, and extra expense, has increased from $50 million up to $125 million. And the social engineering limit within the privacy and security has increased from $50,000 to $100,000. I did also just want to recap the previous claims experience with the county and how that has improved. In 2022 to 2023, there was 27 claims submitted through P Corp. In 2023 to 2024, that number was down to 14. The frequency is down about 50% there. Total incurred claims in 2022 to 2023 was 79,000, and in 2023 to 2024, 49,000. That number as well is down about 40%, so some good improvement there. I was also working with Nicole and Allison, and we are looking at some deductible options to save some premium, and I don't know if that was...
Yeah, I'll take over from here.
She'll
Yeah,
take over
thank
from
you.
there.
So I did learn through being a board member that you have a minimum deductible, but you are able to kind of buy up for a trade-off in premium. So if you guys could share that page. I'm sorry, I thought I had 3 copies and I must not have grabbed them from my desk. So our contribution right now is what was listed on the agenda, which is $520,576. It's above the big black box there. I gave a couple options. One would have increased our auto damage, our liability deductible, and then our crime deductible. saved us about $4,326, moving those deductibles up $1,000, $5,000, and $2,500 respectively. The second one, the second and the third are very similar, difference being just about $200 for overall contribution savings. But some of those deductibles are moving up potentially, like the first or the second, the number two there, increased crime deductible from $2,500 to $10,000, increasing property deductible from $10,000 to $20,000, moving liability from 5 to 10, moving legal malpractice from $1,500 to $5,000, and inland marine from $1,500 to $200, as well as our auto liability and auto physical damage. And then very similar, but slightly different premiums for the last one. I think auto moved up to $2,500 instead of $2,000, which is probably where most of our claims fall anyways. I'm not seeing that we're getting a whole lot. I was expecting more of a contribution deduction with those increased liabilities on the county. We're only saving $8,000. Some of our deductibles are doubling, if not tripling. Especially when you're talking about the property moving from $10,000 to $20,000. So if we have a property loss, a water line break, something like that, we are responsible then for the first $20,000 instead of $10,000 of the claim. So I'm not sure. I know we're looking at all options and where to save money. Marcia had these back to you within 24 hours almost. Yeah. So if we did want to play with any additional deductibles, we can certainly do that. But our policy premium period did start 6/1/24. So we are looking for some decision on where we want our deductibles to be, as well as where we want our premium to be then, coincidentally.
Bless you.
We don't, it's interesting, we do not make a whole lot of claims. When you think about the size of the county versus the size of like homeowners would be looking at. So I tend to prefer higher deductibles and lower cost. And we do have a lot of things that happen that we just cover, we just take care of. So I'm not sure that there's a huge detriment to us to increase the deductibles on some of these things. I know it seems like a lot, going from $10,000 to $20,000 on property damage, but in anything that the county owns, if it's minor, it's going to be below the 10 or 20, and if it's major, it's going to be way above. So from my perspective, I would rather go with the higher deductibles and the lower cost for the insurance. That's my opinion.
So if I understood you correctly, did you say our claims are down by 40%?
Yes. Yeah, so claim count in 2022 to 2023, and that's 6/1 to 6/1, was 27. And then in 23 to 24, it was down to 14.
So our claims are down, but our costs are going up. Welcome to America. Okay. Now I may have a motion to approve the P Corp insurance renewal proposal based on the information that's in front of us. Are we doing all of them? Is there a choice?
Yeah, there's a choice. It depends on how much deductible we have. I would say.
I don't mind number two. Number three does move our vehicle deductible up $500 more, and that is where we see the concentration of our claims.
Yeah,
And for only $200, I would probably do the number two, but that's my opinion, and my opinion only. You're welcome to choose whichever one you'd like.
And I agree with that. I think the second one is better.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the renewal proposal using option number 2. May I have a second?
Second?
And then just for the public, it's $512,542 would be the premium instead of the 520 listed on the agenda. So, okay, I'll repeat that. 512,542, $542,
And the
So
savings
it's
is
about
$8,000.
$8,000.
Yeah, $8,034.
Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. All right, thank you. Any old business?
There is no old business today.
Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second
All in favor?
that. Aye.
Aye. The next Board of Commissioners meeting will be held Tuesday, June 18th at 1 p.m. Thank you.